All right, we're in Algebra 2. Today's date is March 8th. Yesterday we had a fail lesson. Today we'll have a lesson that actually works. All right, so review on example 1. We talked about this on the warm-up yesterday, but if you have the bottom set equal to 0, that means that you cannot have any of those be the answers. So let's go ahead and find the bad values. So we're going to be working right now on bad values. We'll come up with our new name later. You can probably already see it in the bottom left. All right, bad values. That's where what is set equal to 0. What is set equal to 0? I think we're going to have so many people participating that it's going to be, we don't need cards. Whoops, that's not what I want to show. Let's come here to Algebra 2. All right, so people that are gone. Andrea, you're gone. Eva, you're gone. And then the two of them. If I refresh this, is it going to work? Go, go, go. All right, we'll work on that. All right, who's going to tell us what the bad values are? What do I have to set equal to 0?
X squared plus 3x plus 2.
Yeah, set this denominator equal to 0. Thank you, Gio. So x squared plus 3x plus 2, set that equal to 0. This cannot equal to 0, Chris, because why? Why can x squared plus 3x plus 2 not be set equal to 0? Fiona? It's not the square root of the negative. It's something about fractions. Try again.
Because it can't. Because 0 is a bad word now. There you go.
It's not necessarily a bad word.
It's bad for math. There you go.
It's bad for math. Why?
Because you can't set it to 0.
You can't divide by 0. Yeah, you can't divide by 0. There it is. So Gia got it. You can't have a fraction divided by 0. For example, if I have 3 divided by 0, that's bad. That's bad. Because we're dividing by 0. We don't want to divide by 0. So set this bottom equal to 0 to find those bad values. Let's go ahead and factor x squared plus 3x plus 2. We did this yesterday. Do it in our heads again.
1 and 2.
Yep, x plus 1, x plus 2, set equal to 0. That means my x values are, we can do this in our head as well. X equals -1, -2, and -2. Those are the values that I cannot have. If I get -1 or -2 in my answer, they have to be eliminated. So we can even write this all out in our notes. If -1 or -2 is in our answer, I'm saving room on the right hand side to do the problem, is in our answer, eliminate them. Our answers cannot be -1 or -2. All right, so let's go ahead and actually solving this problem now. So solving. Let's go ahead and factor. Actually, let's not factor because we don't need a factor. What are we going to do to solve? Something with this diagonals. Cross multiply. So this is 2 over 1. So when I cross multiply, let's do this direction first. That's going to give us what? Chris, you want to do it? Easy peasy. This thing times 1. Just the same thing, exactly. 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. And that's going to be equal to, we're going to cross multiply this other direction. You want to do that one also, Chris? 2x squared, yep. Plus 6x plus 4. Nice, nice. All right, James, let's get everything off to one side. Choose the correct side and go for it. Okay, yep, it is the left side, so what are we going to do? Minus this 2x squared. Yep, minus all those things from both sides. Minus 2x squared, minus 6x, minus 4 on both sides. And that will give us what, James?
squared plus 4x plus 4.
Nice. Equal to 0. Thank you, Gio, for closing the door. It's much quieter in here now. All right, James did a lot of heavy lifting. So let me get Chris. Let me get James. All right, Fiona, you want to factor it for us in your head? There it is. X plus 2, that quantity squared. Or I could have written x plus 2 times x plus 2. Either way is fine. All right, now Fiona, you want to solve this for us? All right, well, right now this whole thing is being squared. We can indeed square root both sides. So I'm going to square root, and I'm going to get plus or minus 0 on the right-hand side, which is just 0. So x plus 2 is now equal to 0, and therefore, Fiona, x is equal to negative 2. Do we box that answer? No. Why? It is a bad value. We cannot have negative 2 because if this is an answer, then when I plug it in, I should be able to get a number, but I get something divided by 0. I get something like this, 3 divided by 0. This is a bad value, so the actual answer, Fiona, is no solutions. Yep, there it is. No solutions. And that is going to be our answer. All right, so let's try it again. Same procedure on something that actually works after we talk about this actual term. So I've been using just bad values. What I should be really calling this to be official is called excluded values. So after factoring, any value that makes the denominator 0 can't what? Can't be an answer. Can't be an answer. All right, we got Chris, we got Fiona, racking up all the XP. It's like super XP today. I'm sure that we can go a level or two from participating a ton with only the 4 of us. All right, so what am I going to do first?
So
2x minus 6 is equal to 0, because what we're really doing here is we're trying to find the bad values, exactly. Or if you want to be official, excluded values. You can say bad values or excluded values in your notes, whatever you want to do. I'm going to say excluded values. Excluded values. That's what we're looking for right now. So Geo correctly set 2x minus 6 equal to 0, so thank you, Geo, getting some XP. What else do I need to do? There it is. Chris has x minus 2 is equal to 0 because those are both the denominators. We set the denominators equal to 0 to find those excluded values. All right, I need to solve now. Solving means plus 6, and then divide by 2, and I get x is equal to 3. Plus 2 on both sides, and I get x is equal to, yes. So those are our excluded values. Our answers cannot be. So we'll conclude here by saying, I'll do this in green, answers cannot be cannot be 2 or 3. If I get 2 or 3, cross them off. All right. I have room underneath, so I'm going to start down here and actually solve the problem now. All right, so now I'm solving. So we can just say that was our excluded values. Done. Now we're going to solve. All right. The one extra step on tonight's homework is to factor first and then solve, because you'll usually have a factor that cancels out. If you don't, then you wasted a little bit of work, but that's okay because you might have made it easier. In this case, we are going to factor. I'm going to write it out here on the left-hand side. We're going to factor. All right, so factoring gives us what? I can write neater than that, Mr. Sandell. Who can do the top left in their head? Go for it, Fiona. We're doing this top left. X minus 9, X minus 3. There it is. X minus 9 times X minus 3. All right, we're still factoring. So let me draw the line right here. All right, and factor the bottom left, someone else.
2.
2 times what, Gio?
X minus 3.
X minus 3. There it is, Gio. Thank you. Did I get Fiona? Nope. So I got Fiona now. I got Gio now. And on the right-hand side, can I factor anything, Chris? Nope. He's nodding his head no. 3 minus 2x, just leave it, and x minus 2. All right, James, you're up. What are we going to do before we cross multiply? Yep, what are we going to cancel? There it is. Cross them off, everyone. Thank you, James. And now what are we going to do? There it is. So, Gio, do it for us.
So 2 times 3 is going to be 6.
Are you going this direction first? All right, yeah. 2 times 3 is 6. Now we're cross multiplying.
And this is going to be negative 4x.
Minus 4x. All right. And then the other direction.
X squared.
All right, this is going to be the hard one. X squared.
Minus 2x.
Minus 2x.
Plus 9x.
Ooh, careful.
Minus 9x.
Minus 9x.
And plus 18.
Plus 18. Good job. Yeah, you foiled that all out in your head. Well done, Gio. It's not easy to do. All right. Now what am I going to do? Move everything to one side. Who wants to do that for us? James, go for it.
Minus 6 plus 4x.
Yep, on both sides. So we're going to minus 6 and plus 4x. Notice that we have 3 x terms that we're going to have to combine right now. So those cancel out, those cancel out. And I'm left with James. Ooh, careful. So I agree that negative 9 and 4 makes a negative 5, but you also have this negative 2. So minus 5 minus 2 is? Yep, minus 7x. Good. And finally?
Plus 12.
There it is. Good job, James. Well done. Yep. And what is on the left-hand side, James? 0. Perfect. Whew. All right, lots of work, and we're almost there. We have 2 more steps. I need to factor this. Ninja Star. Yeah, you want to try it in your head, Chris? Careful. Negative 3. I have to combine to negative 7. Yeah, there it is, x minus 4. And that is all equal to 0. And therefore, what are our x values that we're searching for, Chris? So if I actually set each of these equal to 0, I get x equals to 3 and 4. All right, we're almost there. That was our second last step. Our final step is check those excluded values. What values do I now have to cross off? I have to cross off 3. I cross off 3 because that is excluded. That is an excluded value. Excluded value. So our final answer is x is equal to 4. Box it. Ooh, almost. Good thing it was not sharpened. I know it's not sharpened because that's why you're giving it to him. All right. Are there any questions on that first example? No? Let's see another one. All right. Someone tell me the first step. Yeah, let's check those excluded values. How do I find my excluded values again? 8x minus 8 equals 0, and x minus 7 is equal to 0. Thank you, Chris. And Chris, you want to just finish those up? I'm going to try to solve this one really quick. Add 8 to both sides, divide by 8, you get x is equal to, yep, wait, not 0. 1, yes. And then x is equal to 7 or negative 7? 7, yep. Positive 7. Good job, Chris. Those are our excluded values, so our answers cannot be those values. Now we're going to solve. What should I do now? Yeah, I'll give it a geo index. You guys are on it. There it is. All right, who's going to factor the top left for us?
3 and negative 1.
3 and negative 1. X plus 3. X minus 1. Someone aside from geo, bottom left. Right now we're on the step to factor. Bottom left factors as someone aside from geo, go for Fiona. Yep. 8 times x minus 1. And everyone, what do we do with the right side? Can we factor it? No. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could factor out a negative 1. That's true. I don't know if it's going to help us at all. But yeah, if you want to, we can leave out a negative 1. It's not going to affect it because I don't think it'll do anything. X plus 2. Or we could have left it negative x minus 2. It's going to be the same thing. And x minus 7 on the bottom. All right. Next, what do we do? Yep, x minus 1, x minus 1. Fiona's gotten 2 in a row. All right, James, what are we doing now? Yeah, we need to cross multiply. You're right. So when we cross multiply, what is going to happen? Yep. So James, you want to do that, or you want to give it to someone else to foil? Okay, go for it. Yeah, so when you're going this direction, I do negative 1 times 8 first to get a negative 8, and then I distribute that negative 8 into each of these two terms. Minus 16, yeah, good job. And you want to do the other direction also, James? Careful.
X squared.
Yep, x squared. Minus 20.
Sorry. Okay. Plus 3x minus 7x
Minus 21. There it is. Yeah, thank you, James. Yeah, foiling is hard to do in our heads, but we're getting better and better. All right, who's going to do our next step for us? Move everything to the right side. So add 8x, add 16, add 8x, add 16. I'm consciously trying to write my 8s more and more like this. Let's see if I get better. And these cancel out. I'm left with x squared. What, Gio?
X squared plus 4x minus 5.
4x minus 5. And I need to practice writing my 5s this way. And what do I have on the left-hand side, Gio?
0.
0. Perfect. Gio. Did I get James this last time? I did. Yes.
How is it?
Were you going to ask about the x's? So there's 3 of those x's, just in case someone else has that question. 8x minus 7x is 1x, 1x plus 3x is 4x.
What is 2x? Oh, just
Oh yeah, if you accidentally get negative 1x, you might get 2x, but yeah, it should be 4x, I think.
at the top there.
All right. Proximo, what are we doing next? Yep, so Chris has already factored it for us. It's x plus 5, x minus 1. God, I need to start writing my 5s better. X plus 5 and x minus 1. Still set equal to 0, therefore Chris, x is equal to negative 5 and 1. All right, now to check excluded values. Oh, darn. 1 was an excluded value. Cross it out. That was an excluded value. Excluded value right there. Boom. And therefore, Chris, our final answer is x is only equal to negative 5. And box it. Whew. All right. Lots of math. Yeah, you guys did really good, though. Are there any questions on today's lesson? All right. Khan Academy assignment will be up in about 2 minutes after you finish the summary. Oh, question?
How would you get the practical numbers?
Oh, so we ninja star at the top. So ninja star at the top. What multiplies negative 3 and adds 2? Yeah, good question, good question. Any other questions? All right, you're writing your summaries now, and Khan Academy assignment will be up soon.